So we're here with Matt from Harley Davidson. Hey Matt, how you doing?
Yeah, thanks for coming.
So thank you for saying that. That's very nice. That's very polite of you. You were raised properly, sir.
Having a good time at the show?
We are having a great time. So, you know, we're here in the giant Harley booth. This is the first time Harley as a company has come to the AIMExpo.
That's correct,
okay,
yeah.
Usually it's been a dealer run thing, a local thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is our first year at the AIMExpo. Really happy to be here. It's a great industry event, and really a lot of cool things going on in the industry this year, and really, in particular, a lot of cool things going on at Harley Davidson. So
exactly.
We're really
you guys
excited.
Got a lot of new stuff.
Show our new products. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're standing right next to one of them, the Fat Bob here.
Yeah, the Fat Bob. This is one of the brand new Softail models that we introduced just a couple of weeks ago.
A whole line of Softails.
Yeah, 8 new Softails, and it's really a big news. I mean, you know, I think a lot of people in the industry expected when we introduced the Milwaukee 8 engine a year ago on our touring bikes, they figured, hey, you know, a year from now they're going to put it in the Softails and the Dynas. Probably not a big secret, but I think we really surprised a lot of people when we came out with an all-new platform, a brand new Softail motorcycle built from the ground up, combines the best qualities of both the previous Softails and the Dynas into one all-new platform. And this bike is really one of the coolest ones, I think. It's the new Fat Bob. It's got the Milwaukee 8 engine, but a very aggressive styling, great suspension.
It kind of doesn't look like a Harley.
Well, we like to joke this is a bike to escape the zombie apocalypse. It's got a little bit of it's got a very aggressive look. It's got some details that are very reminiscent of the previous version of the Fat Bob, the big front tire with the aggressive tread, kind of aggressive riding position. But really, we've just ramped up all of those elements of the styling into the Fat Bob.
It feels more modern.
Yeah, it looks more modern, and I'll tell you, it really feels more modern too. It's lighter, it's stiffer, it handles better, it's got more lean angle, and of course it's got a lot more power. And that's really the big story across the entire Softail family, is built from the ground up, these bikes, they're lighter, they're faster, they handle better, they do everything better than any of the previous versions of the bikes.
Are there any changes to the motor from the last bikes it was in?
Yeah, because the new engine is rigidly mounted in the chassis, and so we added a second counterbalancer. So the current Milwaukee 8 engine in the touring bikes is a single counterbalancer. We added a second counterbalancer to the version that's in the Softails to cancel out kind of about 100% of the primary vibration at idle, and then helps, of course, the bikes are smoother at higher speeds as well. So very smooth riding bikes, but they still sound great. Still look, sounds, and feel like a Harley.
Okay.
But we've really upped our game, I think, in a lot of areas.
Yeah,
Now this bike has the inverted front forks, so it's a little more of a, and it has a very steep, has a 28-degree neck angle.
Yeah.
So this bike is set up to be a really very flickable, really fun, very dynamically capable bike. Some of the other bikes have more of a traditional dual bending valve suspension technology front end, similar to what we have in our touring bikes, all calibrated and tuned specifically to each chassis.
Now the line's been announced for a couple weeks now.
Yeah,
right?
yep.
What kind of response are you hearing back from
Well,
the
the
Harley
response has
people?
been, I'll tell you, it's interesting because, you know, you hear on the internet, you know, there were a lot of people, oh, it killed the Dyna.
Right.
But the response that we've actually had from the dealers and the media, and more importantly, people that have actually ridden the bikes, are like, whoa, these are fantastic.
Whole different game.
You got to ride the bike to appreciate it, to really understand all the improvements that we've made. And really, you swing a leg over one of these, and you're going to be a believer. You'll be converted, I guarantee it, because again, they do everything better than the previous generations of bikes. So we're really proud of them, really happy with them, and I think they're going to be very successful.
And looking at the styling on this bike, especially from the front, I mean, at least for me personally, I don't get any sort of sense of nostalgia looking at this bike. This seems like a modern bike.
Yeah, this
right?
bike absolutely. You know, we have other bikes in the line, and you know, we should take a look at it. But we got the Heritage, we have the Slim, we have the Lowrider. Those are bikes that draw very, very strongly from Harley Davidson's styling heritage and our tradition and our history. But you know, from a look standpoint. But then there's other bikes, and you know, love the Fat Boy, for example, the new Fat Boy, one of the most iconic cruisers ever made. I mean, everybody remembers Schwarzenegger riding one in Terminator 2. a bike that really has been an icon in and of itself. Well, we have taken that bike in a pretty cool new styling direction, and up. It looks like a Fat Boy, but it looks like a modern Fat Boy. So, we've got a little bit of something for everybody.
Who are you fishing for with this bike? Who's your audience?
The audience for this is maybe someone that's looking for something that's more of a power cruiser type of a bike.
Like maybe not your traditional Harley rider?
Not a hardcore sport bike rider, but maybe someone that's coming off of a sport bike that wants a bike that's a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more practical, but still really fun to ride, fast, very capable. We absolutely think that this is a bike that's going to appeal to hopefully a new and a different type of person that maybe has traditionally been on a Harley cruiser.
Sure. Because everyone talks about how the industry, our customer base is getting smaller, getting older.
Yeah.
So everyone's looking for a new way to hook in younger millennials, hipsters, just even dudes like me who don't actually usually ride a cruiser.
Right. Well, that's something we've been focused on and talk about a lot is how do we grow ridership? How do we get more people involved in the sport? The numbers that we have say, somewhere between 2 and 3% of the population has a motorcycle license. That's a pretty small number.
Yeah, it's low.
Right? I mean, it's a cool thing to do, and we all know that as riders.
Right.
But we need to spread the word to more people. We need to get more friends, family, people that spread the word, tell them how cool it is to ride a motorcycle, because the reality is there's some really cool stuff, things that you can only do on a motorcycle. And maybe it's touring the country, maybe it's going to Europe and riding in the Alps, maybe it's just cruising around, a cool downtown area, or for if you're a young urban person, a bike is a cool way to get around. It's practical, it's convenient. So there's a lot of things.
Surely a girl will jump on the back of the bike at a gas light or a stoplight somewhere, right? So that's got to happen.
That's the dream, right? I'm sure it's happened to somebody.
Bike
once.
This cool looking. I mean, someone has to jump on the back.
Exactly. So it's got a little pillion seat, got passenger pegs. Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah. Your chances are less. They're better than 0.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely. Whatever we can do to grow the sport, share the passion and excitement that we all have. It's just going to be good for everybody.
Is that sort of like what the whole new line of Softails is about? Is just trying to appeal to a bigger audience?
Well, we certainly hope that any bike that we come out with is, we don't pigeonhole our bikes and say this bike is for this person or this bike is for that person. We may have a customer profile in mind when we design a bike, but we also know that any given bike can appeal to a broad spectrum of people.
Because not to be insulting, but you don't look like a cruiser guy.
I have a hardtail shovel. I don't know if shovelhead, kick only bike. I don't know if that makes me a cruiser guy or not, but I also enjoy touring bikes and I like riding.
You just like riding.
I like riding any bike. I love riding all of our bikes. I mean, I ride touring bikes. I've ridden this bike. When we introduced this bike, we did a ride out in Angeles Crest Highway in California, and I'll tell you, this bike was a blast to have on those roads.
I can't wait to ride this bike. This bike really speaks to me and I am not a typical Harley rider. In fact, I'm a Buell rider.
Yeah.
So
I have a Buell. I have a Ulysses.
Me too. I just sold it a couple months ago, but I've had 2 Ulysses, and I love that brand.
That was an awesome bike.
It's a fun bike.
Yeah. So, this is a bike that is very capable. Now, and I don't want to go overboard, but you can have an amazing amount of fun on this bike, and anyone that rides it, I think, is going to really be impressed by the capability this bike's got. It's got quite a bit of lean angle, and you'll scrape the pegs, if you really get aggressive with it, but a really good rider on this bike could embarrass some people on a sport bike. It's that good, and it's fun to ride. And it's got the characteristics too of a V-twin. It's got a lot of torque, usable power, just a bike that's fun to ride through curves or stoplight to stoplight.
Is there something else you could show us that you're excited about? As far as what's coming out?
Why don't we walk over? Why don't we talk about one of the new touring bikes?
Okay, cool.
Kind of take us in a little bit of a different direction. This is the new Street Glide Special.
It's so glittery.
Yes.
It's so sparkly.
Yeah, hard candy custom.
My daughter would love this.
So we've taken the Street Glide Special and the Road Glide Special, which have been 2 of our most popular and best-selling bikes for the last half decade, And we've taken them in a little bit of a new styling direction.
I was going to say, this looks more swoopy, more
blacked out finishes,
Yeah.
a very really enhancing the kind of the custom hot rod bagger look and trend that's really popular, and we've been a leader in our bikes. You know, we call it a touring bike, but because it's in the touring family. But
I mean, it's got the hard bags.
we sell. This bike is our #1 selling bike to almost every demographic segment that we track. Women, young adults.
Really?
Yeah. It's a super cool bike, and it's a very practical bike, and you do a lot of things with it. If you want to look cool and use it as a cruiser, you can do that.
Right.
If you want to tour with it, if you want to take long rides with it, it's a very capable motorcycle. Great suspension, great engine, great brakes. It's got the touchscreen infotainment system with built-in GPS.
It's touchscreen, okay.
Yeah, I mean it's really cool. You can stay connected when you're on the road, or if you don't want to stay connected, you can just turn it off.
Sure. Well, all those lawyers and accountants need to stay accessible to their clients.
That's right. They can't all be out playing golf.
Right. They should be riding.
That's right.
It's healthier.
Stretched saddlebags is a little bit lower than the standard models, but and I don't have one of the standards to show you, but we've kind of, again, diverged the stylistic direction stylistically. The standard base models of these bikes have more of the high chrome look, and we've taken these bikes in a more blacked out direction.
Okay.
Just very, very cool, very, very custom looking, and very on trend, we think. So we know this is going to be a very popular and
Now, are
selling bike.
these bikes available today? Or
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're
already taking orders?
dealers are selling them like hotcakes, literally.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, what else? Anything else you need to show us? Or
Well, I mean, we could take a look at one of the CVOs if you want.
Yeah, sure,
You want to
why
talk
not?
at the top of the line, Harley, and see what that's all about?
I don't know if my blood can take that, man. That's
You do. You got to have a pretty robust checkbook to afford one of these. But
yeah. Let's see what that's about, because I'm sure.
so this is the.
Oh my God.
This is the CVO Limited. This is actually the 115th anniversary paint version of our CVO Limited. So this is the most limited of the limited. And if you're not familiar with the CVO, I mean, these are our top of the line bikes, custom vehicle operations. They come from the factory, highly customized. What makes this bike unique is it has, new for 2018, we have the 117 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 engine, which is available, the largest and most powerful OEM production engine we've ever installed in the Harley Davidson. And
What kind of numbers are we talking about?
It's exclusively available in the CVOs. It makes about 125 foot-pounds of torque.
Holy crap.
So it's a real stump puller. They really get up and go. But the whole bike really is, everything about the bike is premium, from the paint to the accessories that are on it, the uniquely stitching on the seat, heated seats, heated grips, luggage rack. It's got all the amenities of touring, but it's packaged in a beautiful.
This is a $44,000 bike.
It is a $44,000 bike. As I said, not for the faint of heart or light of checkbook, but
This is in American dollars, not Canadian.
yes, it is.
Mexican.
Yes, it is.
Right.
And we'll sell every single one that we can make.
44.
But we limit the amount that we make because we want to keep the bikes pretty exclusive.
Limited, yeah.
Yes,
This
absolutely.
is a $44,000 motorcycle.
Yeah.
This is more than my car.
Yeah.
This is.
But it's a hell of a lot cooler than your car.
It is a hell of a. This is more than the savings for my daughter's college education so far.
Well, college is unreasonably expensive
Overrated,
these
right?
days.
Who needs college? Wow. So I'm standing here in front of you, making the faces I'm making. Sell me this bike. What is it about this bike? I'm just going to.
What really makes this what makes our CVO bikes so popular is these are for the customer that wants the best of the best. They want exclusivity. They want something that's very premium, but they also want something that not everyone else has. And you believe it or not, so typical CVO owner owns multiple motorcycles. They might own other Harleys. They maybe own other CVOs. They obviously they're dedicated riders, experienced riders. They love the brand, but again, they want something that's exclusive, that's unique. and that's different. And believe it or not, they'll take this bike and they'll customize it from here. Our CVO customers on average spend more on additional parts and accessories and customization to their bikes than the average buyer of a stock bike.
Really?
Yeah, so it's, you know, it's really, it's about having the best of the best, the ultimate, a little bit about showing off,
Just a
but
little.
having something that not everyone else has. That's really the
what
bottom
I mean,
line.
you're going to show up at the kickstand club,
Right.
and you're the only one
Right.
on this thing.
Right. No one else has
And
got
this-
the 117 because it doesn't come in any other bike.
And this seems set up as a touring bike.
This is the limited model. We also have a street glide and
Okay.
a road glide.
Okay.
Versions of the CVO, and they have
With
to.
the
They
same
have,
motor.
They all have. They all share the 117 engine, and they all have.
Okay.
You know, they've got big audio too. The street glide has a 900 amp, or excuse me, 900 watt stereo system
I gotta
standard.
admit, I've always been really impressed with Harley's audio.
Yeah.
Just when I've done test rides, demo rides, it's amazing to me to be on a motorcycle listening to music from the bike.
It's a big opportunity for us. I mean, we know that you know, people are looking to express themselves in a lot of different ways with motorcycles. For some people, it's speed, it's power, it's performance. For some people,
it's
it might be
taking the
chrome and
muffler
the
off
looks, right?
completely.
And for some people, it's sound. And there's a lot of different ways to make yourself known with sound and music. People love to listen to music on bikes.
I'm almost afraid to touch this bike.
Oh, it's
$44,000.
all right.
Just wow.
Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about scratching it.
What is this?
So this bike is twin cooled. This bike actually has liquid cooled cylinder heads.
Okay.
With radiators and fans in the lower fairings. That's what's
Okay.
all housed in there.
Okay. Wow, man. Well, this is an amazing place to end on. I'm still interested in that Fat Bob. That seems realistic to my pocketbook. Thanks so much for talking with us.
You're
man.
welcome.
This is really cool. It's neat to see Harley here as a corporate presence.
Yeah.
You know,
I encourage you, if you got a chance, we got demo rides going on all weekend.
I
You
will
got
be
to check
doing
those
it.
out.
I will be doing it.
Or certainly, go into any dealer and ask them to do a test ride, swing a leg over them, or any of your listeners as well.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. And that's it from Harley.